Hi guys, so I'm going to start this video off with a couple of updates from the last vlog that I've done. One of them obviously is the hair. I did show a picture at the end of the vlog previously, but this is its done state. It's very nice. This is only toxic UV. I was going to put in a lime twist, but then I thought it went so white. I thought I would just go for the toxic UV, see what it came out like, and I'm very impressed. It's very, very light. I did also mention in the last video about getting some new products with some money from work that I was going to review. So the money's come through in the form of a gift card now, so I'll probably buy them tomorrow, may put them in here as a review, depends what we've got in stock, to be honest with you. I know one of the things I want definitely got, it's the other two bits I'm not so sure about, so we'll have to see with that. Now, I also mentioned in the last video about not mentioning watches and saying which watch I'm wearing today. Well, I've got a funny story about that actually. Now, yesterday was Monday. I felt awful. I felt really bad at work. I was listless, lifeless. I felt like death warmed up. I felt bad all day long. I'm not sure if it was anything to do with food poisoning. I'm not sure what it was. But my mum had felt sort of similar the day before. So I went to work as normal, but just felt awful all day. So when I came home, straight from work, I finished quite early, luckily. Came home, went to bed about 5:45, something like that. So got in bed with cuddles and the caterpillar up my back because I couldn't be bothered to move the caterpillar, and stayed in bed right through till about 8 o'clock this morning. Now, I got up a couple of times in the night. I think obviously, normal times you get up. I hadn't had anything to eat. I had bought some food on the way home, but I didn't feel like it, so I didn't have anything to eat, nor did I have anything to drink. I did take some paracetamol, if that would help. But anyway, came to work today, feel a bit bad today, same not so good, still feels a bit rough. But my colleague came to work this morning and I checked my time on my watch and I had to say to him, I said, "Oh, what time is it?" And he said, "Oh, it's about 10 to 10. I said, "That's odd because my watch said 5 o'clock. And this watch, the Sparkly Limited, was stopped dead at 5 o'clock in the morning." I thought, that's a bit odd. I did probably get up at 5, I'm not sure. So anyway, I've reset it there and then whilst I was talking to him. And all day long since then, it's been absolutely perfect. It hasn't stopped once. The crown wasn't out when I checked it. It was just as normal. It just stopped dead, which is very, very unusual, very strange. When I recently went to the doctor's to pick up my prescription, I picked up a leaflet about sleep or sleep deprivation, how to better your sleep, that sort of stuff. In the leaflet, it did say that you're not to go to bed until you feel tired, which seems a bit odd, like you probably wouldn't anyway, but I'd always in the past, I had sort of gone to bed when it got so late. I thought I have to go to bed now anyway, so I now decided I will go to bed when I'm tired. That does have its drawbacks, and some of those will be things like, I'm not tired, I think, well, there's nothing else, I'm bored, maybe I've done bits on the computer, but it's a nice night, maybe I'll go out and take the camera out or something like that. Now, unfortunately for me, I'm not Denzel Washington. This isn't the Equalizer, and we don't have a cafe that's open all night long, so I can't go to a coffee shop and sit down and have a cup of coffee and read a book. So I end up going out, taking the car out and just taking the camera out. So the other night when I had literally done my hair, so before I actually put the colour into my hair on, I think it was Thursday night possibly, I'm sorry it was Thursday night, I went out. First off, I spent a little while following a fox around the harbour. When we went to get harbour, there was a fox in the harbour that sort of went from one side to the other, and I was trying to get a picture of it and never ended up getting one in the end. And then I came back home, and on the way back home I noticed a large fire not far from me. And as it happened, I also had the drone with me in the car anyway, so I thought I'll go and have a look. That's the fire you've seen at the beginning of the video. That was a sort of, it's a bushfire really. Now we don't get bushfires around here, so it was very odd to see. I don't quite know how it had started, but obviously I went and had a look. And as I went and had a look, so loads of other people did too. It's across from a large housing estate, and there's a lot of people from the estate over looking at the fire, seeing what was going on. I sort of walked up, and it was sort of the other side of a railway track. So you've got, where there's a big line of fire, you've got a railway track running across the other side, and the train had gone past, but I think they stopped the trains as the fire got worse. I was talking to some of the locals, like a group of people I was talking to. Some of them were a bit panicky and a bit worried, where's the fire going to come from? We stood sort of like by there's like a fence that went right up to the railway line, so we could see the fire. You could actually feel the heat of the fire on your face as well. But they were all worried, oh, it's going to come across, it's going to get to the houses, all this sort of stuff. So luckily, with the beauty of having the drone, I could show them on my phone. I'd say, look, here it is, this is where the fire is, you can see where it's going. It's not going to come across the railway line because it's no vegetation or anything for it to burn. So the chance of it coming across the railway line are very, very slim. The fire brigade were letting it burn out. There wasn't really much they could do. They couldn't put it out in any way. So they were sort of mainly watching it and trying to manage it. But luckily, as we were standing there talking, one of the people said to me, oh, I can feel water. Maybe the fire brigade is spraying water over us. Which I said to them, you said using the drone you could see that it wasn't. So I said, no, that's not water from the fire. That's probably rain. And as it was starting to rain. So the rain came down, the rain really soaked it, and that was it. It sort of put itself out, really. It's just a lot of steam and it went out. But it was quite impressive to see. I said, we don't get bushfires around this way a lot. I don't know, it didn't look like it was started deliberately. It probably was the heat of the day because it was a very hot day. But, something different. The drone's sitting on the shelf behind me because it's got a little bit smelly. Drone's actually alright now. It's just at the time when I was flying through the... wasn't flying through the fire, but I was flying through the smoke from the fire. It did get very smelly, as did most of my clothes, which it was handy whilst I was doing my hair anyway, that everything smelled of burning, but I washed all that out anyway, so... Hi, I feel a lot rougher than I look. I probably don't look as rough as I thought I do. As for the continuation from the rest of this video, I basically didn't get any better during the week. I had plans for this week. I had a lot of plans for this week, and it turns out I had a flu of some sort, because every night I've come straight home from work and gone straight to sleep. Wednesday onwards I've been off work sick. I'm very, very ill. I haven't felt right at all. And some of it, I think this year I didn't get a flu jab. Now, last year's and the years before sort of thing, I've been entitled to a free flu jab. Now, I don't know if it's because of my depression and anxiety. I think it was, which is why they offered me the free flu jab. This year they wrote to me and said I could have the free flu jab. And then all of a sudden they decided to withdraw it and said, no, you can't have the free flu jab. And because they said I couldn't have it, I thought, oh, okay, well, fair enough, I probably don't need it. So I didn't bother. Which in hindsight, I suppose, probably not the best idea I've had, because I've been off since Wednesday, I haven't eaten since Wednesday. I've had bowls of cereal in the morning and a bit to drink, but that's about it. Some of the downside of that is, we don't have any food in this house as such. I don't tend to stock my own stuff. I did go out on, it's the Sunday today. It's Sunday today, so I did feel a little bit better yesterday, Saturday, so I got up some way during the day at some point and went to get a few bits that I needed. So I managed to get myself some fruit pots, orange juice, things like that, vitamin C tablets, which I've already got anyway. Just a few bits to sort of try and keep me going. I've still got no appetite. I don't feel like I want to eat, I don't have energy to eat. The fruit pots are okay. I can sort of generally make myself eat fruit pots. I texted my ex-wife on, I think it was Saturday morning, Saturday morning, and said I wasn't going to be able to see the kids on Sunday. She suggested I get a thing called Diarrhea, which is to sort of replace salts and liquids. Because they haven't really eaten or anything. So that's disgusting, but it actually works quite well, so it's quite nice. So I've had quite a bit of that. Plans I had for this week were going to be involved in some of the stuff I was getting. So one of them was the tripod, which this camera is now sitting on. Got the tripod. And I got the rugged hard drive, which I said I will talk about at some point, and I might do in the next video if I feel like it. One of the reasons for getting the tripod, I was hoping I was going to make a cake. I've been saying since I did the kitchen and the kitchen was being done that I would, when we have the kitchen built, I will make a cake. So I went out and bought all the mixture and the stuff that I needed to do that, hoping that this week with the tripod I could have it all set up and I would show me actually baking a cake for a change. And then I got hit by this illness and I haven't had the energy to even walk or get out of bed or do anything. So sorry about that. So I've got a nice lemon cake mixture, which I will make at some point and see how it goes. The cooker looks a lot better, so some of the stuff that's been cooked, jacket potatoes, things like that. Jacket potatoes in that cooker are so much better than the old one. They're just lovely. As I said, I still don't feel like eating any today. One thing I've quite found a fancy for recently, new, was San Pellegrino lemon tea. I like lemon tea anyway. I've always have had like lemon tea from Lipton Ice, people like that. This is a slightly sparkling lemon tea. And again, easy to give. I mean, I've been drinking orange juice and sort of orange flavoured stuff, Fanta, that sort of thing, apple ties. But I've always found that lemon tea is very refreshing because for starters, I mean, it just looks lovely, and yeah, it tastes really nice. The thing about tea, it's always a refreshing taste. Sort of, you drink it and you feel refreshed inside. Now, unfortunately, I've only found it in a few places, so I don't know how many other people do it, but I'll keep an eye out for it. And as I said, hopefully, going forward, I'll get better. And I'll talk about some of the other stuff, and I will get around to doing the cake and other bits and bobs. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys.